Friday night, Winston Cup, Aero 88 at Atlanta 97. The FSB Racing Network. And I'm live here with my good buddy Sean Reap, and we're about to get down some action right here.
Heck yeah, Milty, great to have you back, man. Missed you at Riverside. But we got, should have a great race in store tonight here at Atlanta 97. The old configuration, the true oval, before they turned it into a dogleg. This is it's like a baby Michigan, as I was telling you before we got started here. Just with a straight front stretch, but high banks, high speed, a lot of side-by-side action. Passing on the outside actually works here. And yeah, race is kind of like a small super speedway.
Tire wear, it's got to be some. Whoa, they're playing a little bit of last-minute practice here for pit road, which is very important.
Absolutely. This is not a terribly difficult pit road to get onto, but you do kind of have to kamikaze in there. The speed starts there at the second line, as Lamb just demonstrated, not at the wall. And it'll be a 45-mile-per-hour speed limit tonight. Meanwhile, I'll go over our starting grid here, and stop me if you've heard this one before, but you got the 23, points leader, series admin, Slim Jim Gately on the pole once again. Outside in row 1 there, Bob Dixon with a 31 even. Second night in a row I've seen a dead even qualifying. I'd say Brian Lamb in the 09, who we're watching practice pit here. Looked like he got a little confused as to which box was his, but he figured it out. He has another strong qualifying run starting inside row 2. He ran great in the chicken run Tuesday night. I ran that to get a feel for the track again, get the old Alacrity Pontiac out of mothballs, and I had a blast running it with him. TG Reese.
That goes the moths, right?
Yeah. Yeah, fluttering in my face, right? TG Reese outside row 2, our series sponsor. And race winner last night. Won last night in the FSB trucks at Daytona. So he's looking to back that up.
Winner chicken dinner.
Heck yeah, man. And look at Tower, Jeff Habeck with all of his shoulder woes, or hand, I forget what it is exactly. He's not feeling so good, but gotta be feeling good about that qualifying run, starting 5th in the 101. Got Evan Castle.
They call him Tower because he does, man, I mean, oh man, you have no idea how high this dude gets up in the air.
Yeah, he paints towers, that's why we call him Tower. And I got the TowerPainter.com sponsorship on the FSB Cup this season too. So thanks, Jeff, for sponsoring a series. Evan Castle on his outside in the 55. Pops Margison in the 99. Rick Bisconer in the Richard Petty 43. Dino Francesconi starting 9th. Francis Dittman in the 00, who should have paint for him next week. Gonna be some Dairy Queen sponsorship painted up by Michael Olson. Looking forward to seeing that. And then, let's see, you got Den's not gonna start. There's you, Milty. There's Camera 2. Oh, Sam Young. Who's that guy? Let's see if we can find that rookie. Is he practicing on the track?
That there is the boss, my friend. Owner, operator.
Oh, wow.
And this dude can drive too, man. And he's a crowd pleaser. But you were talking about the outside lane, and he likes to get sideways, you know, which doesn't always translate into wins, but it should the crowd happy.
Yeah, I shouldn't be surprised. I should know that he likes any track where the outside line works, and this is definitely one where that happens. Let's see, anybody else in that field? Ken Hansen in the 9. Mark DeSenza also taking a provisional, starting back there in 17th. Chet Barkin got locked out of his own number because it looks like Evan Castle came in with the 68 at first, so we'll be seeing Chet in the default 318 tonight. That should fill out our field.
Well, happens in this game and in the simulation, and we're gonna know who he is. And real quick here, Chet, the Sacramento, California native, plays guitar. He does all kinds of stuff, man. And he sim races.
Oh yeah, a little bit of that too.
Drivers, to your cars.
And we are about ready to roll off as Slim and the rest of the stars and cars of the Winston Cup Series are taken to the grid behind the FSB pace car.
Video quality, excellent.
Thank you, sir.
Great. What a great job you do. Lap ticker ready. Let's get this on.
Heck yeah,
Double screens. Let's
plug the keyboard in directly, so hopefully the microphone cutout stops happening. I think something's going on with the wireless connection on this sucker.
Yeah, your mic's just cutting out a little bit at the end of sentences and stuff, but just gotta out like me, The calm before the storm here. As usual, par for the course. Gotta get through these first couple laps here, man.
Yeah, gotta get through it. I recommend dragging your brake a little bit through 1 and 2 on the starts, because it does get kind of light down there.
Don't mark the Cinza tonight.
Yeah, he's down at the back.
Up at the front. And so Slim Jim and Brian Lamb, man, what a great qualifying. This guy's evolution has just been,
steadily improving. Doesn't give himself enough credit, so I keep trying to do the job for him on these broadcasts. Real glad to see him having some good runs. Absolutely. Man, I wish you could have seen him on Riverside last week, but he was apparently traveling.
I did see him. Remember all the comments? I was on my... Took me a while to get my damn cell phone to...
No, I'm saying I wish we could have seen him there, but he didn't make it. He wasn't there either.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you didn't see him.
And Mark going at it at the end there.
Yeah, we had
And I wished I was there too. It was a bummer. Sitting in a motel out of town, not being able to race.
Well, that pace car is about to duck off, and here we go. 132 laps around the original Atlanta configuration.
Francis Disman would say, "Boogity, boogity, boogity."
All right, DW.
Oh yeah, and DW too.
Well, that's where he gets it from. Yeah, always got to watch for cars getting light through turn 1 here on these cold tires.
See that? Yeah, they're zigging and zagging.
Yeah, it looks like everybody got through clean, and we're gonna sort it out single file. Slim pulling himself out to a lead with Bob Dixon falling in line behind him. Very orderly start to this race, which is good to see. We don't want to bust up a bunch of cars before you even get going.
The 00 Francis Dibman, he's way back in the weeds. All by myself. Ken Hansen let Mark DeCenza get by and follow. He knows he's going to charge, and what about, there isn't a better guy to follow to the front.
Well, we talked about that high line. We talked about that high line, and well, look at guys to watch tonight. There's Sam Young in the 98, Smoky Sam Young, league owner and promoter. Oh, pops hard on the wall.
Rack.
Oh, right after I mention him, Sam gets caught up in that. I have to back that up and find out just what happened. Oh, the right side of Sam's car is in bad shape too.
And his rear end.
I was gonna say, back end ain't much prettier. The broadcaster kiss of death strikes again.
They do. Few laps in, what do? Waiting for the pace car. Gotta stay out, I think, here. Bam! Up to P3, the Scuderia Ferrari. Fangulo. I'm gonna give you can't refuse. You're gonna win this race.
Well, I think I found what happened here. And you'll watch the 101 center of your screen right now. Looks like he got in there and it just got a little loose on him, right in front of Pops. And it's not much either he, the 8-car Dino Francesconi, or Sam Young, who was already looking to that high side. Also entangling the 9 and the 6. A couple of other pre-race favorites there. Mark DeSenza. Yeah.
It's not real because the old venerable one would have been hurting there.
Yeah, Pops would not be feeling good after that hit, and I don't think he feels too good about it anyway. That car is going to be in bad shape, I'm afraid.
It's got to be, man.
This is not Pop's night, and
wow.
Dino Francesconi's car, its back end. Oh, in fact, he just left his bumper on pit road.
When you hear bam, 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 bam.
Yeah, see that on pit road?
Dino, the Hooters titties are up. Excuse me, can I say that?
We'll let it slide.
Are up, you know.
But as you saw, right as he pulled out, his bumper was sitting on pit road before the pit crew picked it up. As Pops is still getting service down there. That's a long repair stop. I wouldn't be surprised if that motor's getting shut off for some serious work. This is not going to be a 99's night.
Pushed in there.
Meanwhile, it looks like the 143, the 53, the 55, these guys all stayed out. Gotta go back to 4th place with Slim Jim to find the first car that pit. That's what I would have done too. You want to top off, keep the tires fresh.
It's one of them cheese graters.
It is. I mean, the speed that you're carrying around this track, you can't help but eat the tires up. So while it races like a miniature super speedway, as I said in the intro, tire wear will come into play, and you want to conserve those tires so that you have the maneuverability late in the run to pick up some spots. But it's gonna be not the kind of night that Pops is looking for. Looks like a bunch of cars must have taken end of longest lines as they're falling in behind Pops after that lengthy pit stop. Yeah, they may be done working on that thing. They may be done working on it, but it doesn't look much better. As you can see, that nose. That is a Picasso painting right there, my friends.
Mark DeSenza up to P6. I think that's gonna look at these players up here.
Now, how did he get to P6 after catching a piece of that wreck? Did he just pit for fuel?
Question.
He might have had his tires... No, that doesn't make sense. I don't know. We'll have to see how that plays out. Maybe he didn't pit after going for that slide.
Well, several of these guys pitted, the leaders, and now we have a new leader, Bob Dixon at 140, qualifying up front, and he is clutching our... Can you hear him quiet there? This guy's obviously been around the block a few times. Because he's always up front and running good. Great drivers.
Yep, he's been having some good runs here in his return. Or since joining us, rather. Pace car lights are out. Looks like Pops will line up to the inside, down a lap, after getting some service there.
That car is a... We're going to have to see if Pops can even control that thing and speed up so bad. We could cautions breed cautions. I smell a foul air in the wind here.
Yeah. Let's hopefully he can hold on to that. And it looks like he's dropping down to get out of everyone's way. He wants to feel that car out and see what he's got left in it. We're back to green. A good start for Bob Dixon with the 55. Evan Castle just did not get rolling. I think he may not have been in gear.
And he's got a bunch of snap yourself into a Slim Jim behind him. You see that guy and that red hood behind you.
As he was inches, the 23 was inches from his bumper.
Y'all know me. I'm coming through here now. Oh, and there's this 6 car behind him.
Yeah.
2 championship contenders here.
Excuse us, coming through. Now I've got camera 2 still on Pops, and he is topping out at 147.
Man. And these guys are
Castle's around right in front of Lamb. Oh, the 55 and the 09 hard in the wall. And Francis Dittman is skating by.
Looks like contact with Rick Pisconer. Rick Pisconer, see biscuit. After you see the replay of that.
Yep. Gonna go find that.
Oh, it's lap 10, but
man, Francis
I think
Dittman.
I'm like you. I think you need to pit again. Sorry.
I was gonna say, if Francis Dittman didn't hit anything, that might be the good hands move of the night.
Indy 500 winner. Oh, it made chills on my back, and I'm sure Jim Ray, the original boss, texted me. He's watching because we lost that race to Francis Dittman. We both blew chunks.
Yeah, it's time to move on, Milty.
You never move on.
I know it, I know. Well, I got that replay for us here, and we'll see the 55 and the 43, I think, just like you said. And I think the 55 got loose, came down onto him.
Well, yeah, I mean, I saw it from a
yeah,
different back
and it was on it, like Duncan. Well, here's his 00. Yeah, he caught ever so gently into the inside wall. That might not have even done damage.
There's nowhere else for Rick to go. He's low, and when you're on the outside there, you can't challenge that apex coming out there because it'll bite you, and you got to give it a little more room and probably trickle to the back. Easy to say here from the Budweiser.
Yeah, well, like I said,
but that's why we don't get paid to do this.
It's true. Yeah, exactly. There's no real money on the line here, but like I've said before, we can't make binding admin calls from the booth here. But if I had to say, I'd say that the 55 got a little loose on the high side, and that's what started that whole ordeal there.
Yeah, that's what happens. You chase the car, and your front end starts to go down, and you chase it, and then you kind of tank slap and go into the car on the inside. That's racing, man.
Yeah, so our new leader, T.G. Reese,
if
pacing
you
the
ain't
field.
Racing, you ain't racing.
Absolutely.
He's here, of course, showing up late, and well, yeah.
Now we do have a retirement.
What is the pit window here?
It's gonna be your typical 1 miler pit window, the 32 lap variety, I believe.
Well, the two bosses, the current boss and the former boss, the creator of FSB, Jim Ray, both and hi here in the broadcast, so they
Yeah, I was
watch
about
it.
to say, we got our first retirement there with Sam Young retiring after being caught up in that first wreck. Tough break there for our league boss there, but glad he could join in on the broadcast at least. And hello, Jim.
It's racing.
Racing, yep, it'll slap you sometimes.
And Anson, a stressful, one of those deals that I had trouble getting on TeamSpeak, and he was struggling with that. Last minute show up. You know, it's funny. Sometimes when you show up and you got 30, 40 minutes to practice, you practice the crap out of everything, and then you make a mistake. Sometimes you just go up at the last minute and just kind of chill and work into it. Sometimes it becomes your race, Happens.
Yeah, we got Dino Francesconi back on pit road looking for some either top off or more repairs
looking
there.
For parts, man.
Yeah, he's looking for a bumper on that thing.
Guy's got a front ends around here somewhere I can tape on. Now we don't have the NASCAR. What is it? The 5-minute rule or whatever.
Yeah, the what do you call it?
Lights are out.
Yeah, 5-minute rule, not the caution clock. Yeah, lights out. Should go back to racing here with looks like Mark has gotten around Slim there for P3 through all the pit stops.
Lately, we've seen a lot of the 23 in front of the 6. I really had a blast sitting in my motel room. I was watching your, broadcast the race on NASCAR, and I had my phone set up with you guys. It took me a while because I'm an internet idiot, but they're great phones. Thank you if I say it.
Heck yeah, we got all the technology in our pockets that could land like 10 Apollo missions.
Room, watching and listening to you and Will Farmer talk, and watching a great race that I wished I was in it, but it's I wished I was 5 inches taller and be in the NBA, but or maybe 10 inches. So.
Yeah, I'd take that, but I'd be a pitcher instead.
There you go. Well, we all want to be real race car drivers. That's why we simulate like this, and this is the highest level of sim racing, and we got a high level gathering here as the cars that have stayed out.
Yeah, they're breaking away there in that first pack.
Bob
Ooh,
Dixon,
TG on the apron.
Boy, TG in the lead. You guys got, I think, fresher tires, but they also got the bull, the bit between their teeth. Mark DeSins just says, I'm going low. I'm going high. I'm going low. I'm going to take you. And here comes the 23 right behind him.
Oh, Bisconer looking to take it 3 wide going in there.
No, boy, better back off there. And he does. Cosmetic damage for him, so he's all good. And
now he's stuck down there on the bottom with no draft help, so Slim's looking down. Oh, power move on the bottom for Slim. That's not easy with the way the draft works around here. I think maybe Mark just kind of let him go.
I think they're just playing a little bit, Dan. I'm 17 of 132, so they just want to see what their cars are going to do.
Slim is getting his bumper right up there on TG. It's a good thing the arrow loose doesn't work here.
Slim is the master, but he runs a really high line right there. The Scarter's running it too, obviously talking together, trying it out to get air on the nose.
I believe Bisconer ran the chicken run on Tuesday, so he saw how that high line worked.
I mean, they're like out of the dark, in the gray. Which is great for us, because we're getting like 3-lane racing here.
this track is a lot of fun once they get to racing on it, and we've kind of settled in. Oh, Slim! Whoa! What a save! And what a job by everybody behind him not to run him over.
You know how quickly you have to think when you start getting loose. Like he's trying to cut it in there, and it started getting loose. He instantly stabbed the brakes, and it just straightened the car up. And he did it just the right. You know how hard that is, dude. That's like a 1 out of 100 save for me.
Yeah, if you think about it, it's too late. You cannot think about that. You have to react.
Some stuff here, you know, and but you know, you just. Because I don't even think that if his tires, because he did it so quickly.
Quick little puff of smoke, and he held it, and everybody behind him saw that he was getting loose and backed out of it. So that could have been a moment.
All these guys are going to be watching this after the race or tomorrow morning with a breakfast and coffee or whatever, and they're all going to say the same thing. Wow, just what we did was like, wow, you know how hard that is.
Yeah, doing that at 180 miles per hour. Well, TG is holding serve, picking up right where he left off last night in the truck series.
Just a pace between my shake and gum there. He's known him for as long as I've known Mark DeCenza back in the CC Racing. Dan Smith, the original co-founder with Jim Ray of FSB Racing, broke off and started his own league, and that's how we met Mark and TG, and they ended up here, and they've been here a long time now. I mean, we're talking, you know, 12, 13 years at least, you know.
15 years, Milty. It's 2003.
Well, that's
2018 now.
League.
Yeah.
That's the start of the league, but it was, you know, over 10 years.
Yeah.
I used to go there and race against them and be like, wow, these guys are good as anybody we got it in our league, you know. Slim Jim trying different lines, keeping the air on his nose. In the back of that 5-car pack, Ken Henson trying to decide what he wants to do. He's obviously really competitive tonight and started out slow and being in that position before, staying with that lead pack and everybody else is in the weeds and you're competitive, you start, I mean, your focus level comes up. I got to win this race, you know, or finish. Yeah, you know, if you're back in the lose it, you know, but
yeah, well, you got to finish first, and so with just 26 laps into this 132 lap affair,
tire wear is huge here.
You just want to bring the car back home in one piece. Keep that right side on it. Keep your tires under it. Make it through the pit stops, because we usually have green flag pit stops here at this track, and that should be quite a show. Should be coming up in the next 10 laps or so by my calculations.
Well, I'm glad you're calculating, man.
Well, you know how good my calculations have been so far this season, so take that with several grains of salt.
Yeah, and you're a champion, so that shows you...
it's different when you're in the car.
Blow chunks, you know?
It's different when you're in the car looking at the fuel ticking down. Versus when you're up here and you got no skin in the game. I think TG's feeling those tires right now, though. And bold move by the 43.
In their rooms with their sim racing rigs, really bitchin' rigs, all connected together at the speed of light, running a race here that when you're in the car, you believe it's real, and everything that reacts and happens around you is as real as it can get without doing it for real.
Yeah, I have to say, when you talk about simulating racing, maybe it doesn't hurt when we hit a wall. Maybe we're not getting cooked behind a 250 degree and a 200 degree cockpit here, or whatever the temperature gets in there. But one thing that it simulates as Slim makes a pass for the lead, 1-to-1, is the time we have to react. And you understand just what the real racers are up against, and Slim will easily move back into P1. And when something goes wrong, you've got a blink of an eye to react, just like those guys you watch on Sunday do. His time doesn't scale. it's a 1-to-1 thing, and if you're doing 30-second laps around a track that they do 30-second laps around, you're moving at the same speed they are. So I gained, as I began to sim race, I gained quite an appreciation for. Yeah, you watch on TV, you're like, how did they do that? How could they pile into that wreck? Couldn't they see that coming? Like, well, now you know how much time they have to react to it. Yeah, it's not much. And if you choose wrong, you're in it.
TG Reese just went for a wild sequence of corners there. For him,
yeah,
falling back, historically against Slim, TG's faster at the start, and he's a charger, and
we have a caution on the track.
Well, we do, and that's what he needs is quick runs. The 53 will be fast out the gate.
I think Pop's car finally gave up. As I'm showing it to you there, just sitting on the infield with a puff of black smoke behind it. Let's see if I can find what happened to him.
User left your channel.
Guess Milty's gone down to see what happened to Pops. Yeah, that's what happened. Pops just done blowed up. Let the smoke out and these things run on smoke. Once the smoke's gone, got no more engine. That's a tough break for Pops Marguson in the 99, but I think this is exactly what TG Reese needed, because he had been staying out on all those cautions, and his tires were starting to feel the effects. As we'll see, Mark DeCenzo will go get his Dave Marcus points by staying out.
User was moved to your channel. User joined your channel.
Wow, we just got the recently expired driver here.
Expired driver?
Expired car,
I think, yeah.
Don't say expired, man.
Yeah, please. Come on, Milty.
No kidding, the venerable one here, Pops Marguson, tough night for you. Got caught up in something of not your own doing and a hard lick into the wall, and then it's just a matter of time he done blowed up.
Yeah, I did get a top 10.
Yeah, there's some attrition early on in this one here. A lot of torn up race cars out there. Actually, I think Lamb can knock you back to 11th. Oh no, he's still listed as in the race, but he's not on the track,
no,
is he?
He's shown as an accident.
Okay, he must still be in the server because he still shows up in white on the standings ticker. Well, that was it. Uh-oh. What just happened?
Well, so many years in the league here, and how old are you, Pops?
I think we just had a server crash, guys.
Uh-oh.
You're kidding.
Yeah, both my my main PC and my laptop just lost all the cars on the field. You seeing them, Milty?
They disappeared and server crashed, yeah, because it's asking me to reconnect.
Yeah, I'm getting a reconnect on both. Uh-oh. This, looks like this one might be a rain out and reschedule for the end of the season, folks. We'll wait for official word on that.
Well, internet racing at the speed of light, we were talking about that earlier. People from all over the United States and the world racing, all connected together. Stuff can happen, and sometimes it does,
Yeah, well, Pops will probably luck out on that one, and he'll get another shot at it if we get this thing
Yeah, I may get a
rescheduled.
redo on that.
Yeah, that's one advantage. But I can't imagine we'll restart this one at 10 o'clock after several cars had retired from it. So yeah.
That's not normal FSB policy, but of course we don't
No.
make that policy. We're just broadcasters, But
And the owner has already left for the evening.
User joined your channel.
Slim said we're going to try and restart it at maybe 100 laps. Pops, come on back.
Well, I don't think I can.
I believe it'll be a whole new race, right?
Yeah, it would be a whole new race.
Seriously?
Yeah, I mean it would be a server restart, yeah.
I'll see what I can do.
User left your channel.
well, in all aspects and types of sim racing, these things happen, man.
Yes, indeed.
I've done, like iRacing, 10 servers running at one time and like 5 of them taking a crap, or maybe the whole thing. It's with all those people that spend all that money. It's wow,
User joined your channel.
Pops, you going to come on back down?
I'm trying to. Let's see what happens.
You want me
Okay.
to? I'll drag you back down to.
Okay. Sean, we're going to do Milt. We're going to do shotgun starts. What
Okay.
Slim decided.
Okay.
User was moved out of your channel.
Well, that's good for us. That's
User was moved
never
out of
been
your channel.
really company policy.
Yeah,
But I think, I mean, okay, first of all, is everybody okay with it? And
yeah, I mean the detractor there is the folks that already retired, and they don't get a mulligan like some of the cars that stuck around with damage.
I mean, a race is a race, and
So I imagine
you're already done anyway. So all of a sudden, you can't say, "Well, I could have," because no, you crashed, or you got caught up in something. So I don't see anybody tripping on that. It is, different. Especially back in the day when FSB was so huge. I mean, a lot different. You got like 10 cars out there. 15 cars, whatever. Students are probably going to be okay with it.
Yeah, but while we wait for that,
Good for
I'll
me.
just take a little break there. Yeah, go grab yourself a beer or whatever. Yeah, I'll make a little pit stop here. The server hasn't come back up for me.
Yeah, I'm back on.
Yeah, I'm on, but there's no track loaded or anything. Oh wait, yeah, it is on the. What the heck? Okay, so I've got it on the camera 2 piece. Oh, now it's back on the. Oh, I know what happened. Never mind,
Well,
never mind.
Up with all the technical stuff that you do.
Yeah, when I'm tabbed out of the NASCAR window on my stream PC, while I'm clicking on all the controls here, the NASCAR itself freezes, and so it was stuck on the track load screen there because I hadn't clicked back into it yet. That's the one thing I wish I could figure out how to do. If I could figure out how to make it run in windowed mode while it was tabbed away, it would be golden, but it just doesn't do it. Anyway, gonna take that break, like I said.
You're just way, above my head there. I'm a driver, man, Okay, we'll be right back.
Yep.
Drivers, to your cars.
Drivers, start your engines!
So we got, looks like the air dryers are getting off the track here. The rain has subsided. We're at lap 33 of 132. Basically where we left off.
Alright, I'm back too. We got that shotgun start going with Evan Castle on the pole. I'm having a problem with the ticker there.
The former boss watching you know, he still loves his league he created, and he's asking, server crash? Yep.
Yep, a little bit of a hiccup there.
Yeah, he knows all about that, especially, you know, sponsoring, creating, setting up major events like Indy 500s and stuff. You know, now he doesn't have that stress. Sam is also in here. He's,
Yeah,
his
Jim.
quote was, "I didn't pay the electric bill."
Yeah, Jim's saying.
Dadgummit.
Yeah, Jim's saying that the standings aren't going to update if the server didn't get a complete reset. So, oh well. Might just have to turn that off.
And they're crashing.
Already? Looks like Slim got a piece of that.
We're still trying to get our, you know, stuff together here too. Yeah, let's take a look at that start. Something happened there. So, you know,
So I'm going to follow Slim Jim Gately here.
We lost the ticker, but that's what happens, you know.
Yep.
Oh, let's go.
So here is the start of the race. Looks like Rick Bisconer down low into turn 3. That wasn't it. Oh, Pops, who had just retired before the crash, the server crash. He got loose on the outside there.
Oh, slim hard into the wall. So a couple cars doing great evasive action there to, you know, first thing you do, you see smoke, step on the brakes, and that was great job. Nobody tried to do Days of Thunder there, and that's going to hurt Slim, and it's going to help Mark. That's the way it goes, and Sure, Slim's fine with that. That's racing.
Yeah. Well, that's one of the dangers of restarting the race. So.
Yeah, you know, I mean, what you know.
It could happen on a reschedule too. So yeah, exactly what you're gonna do. Looks like he's got a lengthy pit stall.
Up in here and people eating hot dogs. You know, it's like.
Gotta work them hot dog sales.
You know, what are you gonna do? Shut it down?
Yeah, exactly. Jim Ray is pointing out the cold tires here, and that was something I mentioned too in the pre-race. The first lap or two around here, I like to drag the brake, especially if I'm side by side going through these corners. Just tighten it up a little bit because it's a bit slippery on the cold tires. Gotta let them warm up.
You gotta respect that. At least a couple laps, you know. At least, you know. I mean. Yep. Jim, our last race we did in Law Night in a Porsche 919. Jim got a podium, you know, and along with our other teammates there, a great finish for Donkey Bop, and very, very happy with that. Well, you're still seeing Ken Hansen is still, you know, got plenty of time to do what he was doing in the first heat, you know. And that is kind of creep his way to the front here. Slim is just going to try to get as many points as he can. This is definitely going to... but, you know, I mean, him and Mark have both went back and forth with having DNFs. And, well, the 55, Evan Castle on pit road. Lost it and got a reprieve here, and definitely has a car that can win.
Alright, I turned the standings off of my headers, so unfortunately the caution light is it's a hard-coded part, so it's gonna stick there, but at least we don't have that wrong data on the top anymore. I can get my side-by-sides and stuff back.
Well, yeah, thank God you know what you were just talking about.
Well, it's a problem because the standings ticker is integrated into my scenes for the side-by-side, the picture-in-picture, you know, all that. I don't have those set up without the standings, so I was kind of stuck for a minute there.
How about that 00 man there, Francis Dittman, up to P4 after just riding around out, down and out. Now he's got a chance to get the bit between his teeth here. Jeff, too, hanging out, getting another shot. Kind of cool. Rick Bisconnor in the lead.
Yeah, we got the 43 and the 143 up front. And Ken Hansen appears to be...
Oh boy, somebody got loose there.
Did Ken Hansen get loose, or was he just looking for pit road? He was looking for pit road. He must have had himself a black flag.
Ruh-roh.
That's, if he has to pit under green, that means he got himself a passing under yellow black flag. And that's a brutal one to serve under green.
That's a no-no.
Mm-hmm.
Ken Soska in the house. former FSB admin. Got it on the big TV in the living room. It looks amazing.
Oh, thank you.
All props to you, sir.
Much appreciated, guys.
Heck, these races are clearer on my big screen than my cable I got.
Well, have you got your cable hooked up the right way?
Well, I don't. I got standard def, and
Oh, okay.
that's
Yeah,
gotta
because
change, man.
my dad was. I went over one day and we're watching the race on the HD channel. Dad's coming through looking like garbage. I was like, "What did you do, Dad?" And I looked at it, and he was passing the coaxial cable through his receiver. So it was into the cable box, back out of the cable box, into the receiver, back out of the receiver, into the TV. But meanwhile, there was an HDMI cable going from the cable box straight to the TV, and he was bypassing that completely. And so he switched the inputs, and he's like, "Oh, wow, that's so much better."
You don't know. You don't know.
Exactly. Looks like Ken Hansen has served that stop and go, but it is costly, as he should be now. Let's see, he's listed one lap down, so he is in the lucky dog spot. That's some consolation.
He's moving. He's on the charge. He's all over
Evan Castle there.
him.
Yeah, he just needs to keep himself one lap down, hope to catch that caution.
All these guys are spread out. What the heck, man? Got the top three together. Rick Piscotter. We talked about slim. Well, of course, he got in major damage there, but now we got some new players in the house here. Tower's feeling it here. P3. Still a long way to go here, though. Just gotta chill and just ride behind these guys and do. Stay in contact. Watch what moves they make, or maybe moves they don't make.
Meanwhile, Rick Bisconer, the 143 of Bob Dixon, and the 101 of Tower Jeff Habeck are checked out on the field here.
Connor trying to break the air from the 143 of Bob Dixon.
Yeah, see, this is the view out of 4th place Mark DeSenza's windshield. I don't know how he lost the draft that badly, but he's pretty far back. He's got T.G. Reese with him. At least we know we got a couple fast cars together. But they've got their work cut out for them. Hopefully, what they're looking for is either another caution flag or to make up the ground on pit stops.
If I was in Jeff's shoes right now, what you want to try to do is lift a little bit earlier these guys and try to conserve.
Yeah, the one in the best position there for conservation is the 143, because they got the draft on the front and the rear, so they can take it a little easy and not worry about losing the tail of draft. If Jeff conserves too much, he can potentially lose these guys. But he's hanging on. Doing much better this time around than the first one there after getting caught up in an Incy. And we are 18 laps in.
Guys are so good on their tires. Have to be mindful. He's starting to push up and arc a little bit, but he might be trying a different line there. But he's falling back. As we have a pass for the lead.
Yep,
here.
we got Bob Dixon looking low. Looks like Rick Bisconer won't fight him too much on that, as they're catching Slim to put him a lap down.
Then be tore up.
Yeah, but catching another car to lap them is not what Slim wanted to see happen. I mean, sorry, what Hansen wanted to see happen, or Slim for that matter. But Ken Hansen wants to be the guy in the lucky dog seat right now.
Okay, you're out in front, Bob. You know, and a lot of times these runs have an ebb and flow. Let's see if Bisconer decided to back off. It could cool his tires down a little bit and make another charge here. You want to set yourself up for that final run, you know.
Exactly, and they're going to have to make at least a couple here. Even though we restarted this thing to have, what, 100 laps?
What's the
99 laps. 99, okay, so it's a 99 lap race. It's going to be at least a two-stopper.
They can't go 50.
No, they cannot. So...
Well, you know, old tile center can figure that one out. That's
exactly.
That's 33 laps is your window.
Yeah, if you want to go 33 and 33, you should be good to the finish, assuming no more.
Bob Dixon, last lap, 31.3. Best lap, 38.15. So definitely tire dag starting to happen. Well, just like I was saying, though, Bisconer, the student, teammate, protege, like Jeff Hale of Slim Jim Gately, these guys know how to arc these corners and reset themselves for tire wear.
Yeah, it looks like Tower is starting to lose that draft. That's going to play into the hands of Mark DeCenza, sitting there in P4, looking to reel this group back in.
You're still not out of it, even if it doesn't go yellow. Just got to make a great pit stop, and Mark tends to pit earlier than everybody else and get that speed. But he's also evolved his game, so he understands the math, which is very simple.
We'll hop on board with Mark DeCenza now, and you see that third place car of the 101 has gotten a bit bigger in his windshield.
He's getting closer.
He is.
Who that? Mama, there goes that man. In car with Mark DeCenza. 180 miles an hour, about 75, 74 there.
Yeah, without a full draft, you get down into the 170s. You're doing about 180 to 190 around the track with a full draft. That's a pretty fast pace. Truck physics here in the Aero 88, very draft dependent.
Just lifting through the center. He's a little higher in 1 and 2. And lower in 3 and 4, see him late apex
Meanwhile, we got a battle for the lead again. And once again, this is going to play into his hand, as Bob Dixon and Rick Piscona are having at it.
Blitzkrieg, baby. Eat your heart out, Fox.
Yeah, they settled back into it. Sitting here at lap 28 of 99. Look for those pit stops in the next 5 laps.
Just really disintegrated here. Tire wear. He's just holding on right now. Smart racing, though.
Yeah, he's not feeling his level best, so he's definitely putting in a good showing, considering that.
Absolutely, yeah.
Ken Hansen has moved himself back into that lucky dog spot, running with Mark DeCenza, as once again our leaders are going at it. And Mark DeCenza's knocked about a half-second off of his deficit. He's now only 3 seconds back. Let's see what oh, he knocked 3/10 off that lap, so it's working for him. Never count Mark DeCenza out, never count Slim out, except tonight with the damage for Slim, but these guys know how to battle back and know when not to give up. So if he's got a car under him, he's going to be a factor.
And then, like you said, this battle for the lead, Bob and Rick they're going at it, man, and they're slowing each other down. Last lap for Rick Piscona, 32-1. That's 2 seconds off his best lap, and they're still side by side. And here comes Mark DeCenza.
Yeah, they're in frame together there on the right side for a second. Yeah, these two, Bob Dixon and Rick Piscona, look like they're trying to duke it out and decide, once and for all who the ultimate Petty fan is.
Well, all kinds of strange things happen. Internet stuff tonight. We'd like to see, 40 cars
got
out
some
there.
Smoke on the track.
But the thing is, at the end of these races, every time, you're going to see a show. Get ready. Stay tuned.
I don't know what that smoke was about.
Rick Piscona down pit road, hard in, right down to 44 miles an hour. Leader is pitting. No caution out, so there's the first move. Lap 32, 33 as he crosses the line. That's your pit window, and you're going to see nothing on the scanner. Will this bite him, or draft is not as prevalent as super speedway, but
no, you absolutely do need the draft here. I mean, it might as well be a super speedway. Just because you got to slow up for it doesn't mean the draft is essential.
2 tires for the 43. 2 tires. Or maybe I missed the first part there. Probably 4 tires. There's no way you can go without 4 tires.
Yeah, there's no way anybody's going to take 2. Nobody's going to take 2 when pitting for 2 cans of fuel. Not at this track. Bob Dixon coming in now. As Rick Piscona is back on track.
Evan Castle pitting in the 55.
Which means that the 6 car, Mark DeCenza, will cycle back to the lead.
Mark DeCenza pitting next lap. Ken Hansen. Ken Hansen and the 6 locking them up, going into pit road at the timing line. Looks good. We'll see.
Hope so for their sake, but it's not the one to watch. How's this going to cycle out for Rick Piscona?
Wrangler Chevrolet of Mark Desenza down pit road going into a stall. They need a great pit stop right here.
Evan Castle taking full advantage of that number one pit stall.
The 9 had to go around him, so that was much harder. They executed that great, and they come out there. Was Hansen giving Mark enough draft? We'll have to see, and they're pushing it. Here they come.
I'll put the regular standings up here and see TG Reese has cycled into the lead, for the moment at least. I believe TG is pitting right now. Yeah, TG is just coming back on the track now. And Rick Pisconer
on the 23 car, but he is still way off pace. Trying to get some points here.
Rick Pisconer's early pit paid. Oh goodness, that's gonna. Is that a caution? What happened with his 00 car there? No caution, as Mark Desenza had a little trouble getting around to 00 coming up to lap him.
As the pit stops recycle, your leader, the 43, Rick Pisconer. And he's got a teammate behind him, but he's so damaged, I don't think he can help him. Field spread out here. Mark Desenza in second, 4.5 seconds behind, or a little over 4 seconds. Third is Bob Dixon. Definitely lost some time there.
I'll put up here what happened there. We'll see as Mark Desenza catches up to the 00. A couple laps ago here. That looks like okay, 00 was coming out of the pits and just got up off the apron too soon. Hey, it's tricky getting out there. That slowed up Mark a little bit, and it did not do any favors for the 00's own situation. Milty, your TeamSpeak got set to away there.
Oh, crud. That was a sticker pecker moment right there.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering why you weren't saying something to that effect.
Oh, I was. Just, nobody was hearing me.
Nobody heard your catchphrase, buddy.
I got it now.
I feel you, buddy. I feel you. Yeah, we're back, and get that regular standing up there again, and number 6 is running down the 143 as he's got a help of Ken Hansen. Ken Hansen's still a lap down, but he's got the car. He just lost that lap to the black flag. He's hanging out. He's looking for that caution. He wanted it from the 00.
That pit stop sequence did not go well for Bob and Jeff.
That it did not. It cost them big time. I am duly impressed at Rick Pisconer's stop, though, as he came out pretty far ahead. That's all for naught, as Desenza had the draft help and was able to reel him back in. Yeah, I thought that Rick pitting all by himself was going to cost him.
But he's got Mama. There's that man behind him, and the 9, which really wants a caution. Got a great car. You can see he's right there with him. He needs that lucky dowel. Bark for me like a dog, baby.
Yeah, Ken knows he's exactly where he needs to be, so he's just gonna run in the 6's tire tracks for a while, I'm sure.
Also, running at that pace, caution comes out, you can get it the old-fashioned way. These guys are not going to fight for it right now, I don't think.
Yeah, I think they would probably let him go, and which would put Slim in position to get one of his laps back.
Mark on that wave, that arcing line there, we've seen times there, and there's grip up there and momentum. Testing the waters there. But I actually did lose a little bit of time there. But a third of a car length, or a half car length.
Jim Ray throws a little question in there to stir the pot in the FSB Live chat box.
Who is the FSB GOAT?
Yes, well, we know who your vote goes to because you've called him that time and time again.
That's Matt Watkins, man. I mean, as far as stock car racing, of course, he's a great road racer too, but as far as the stock car racing, I would say the guy that was the best at everything was probably, in my opinion, would be Damon Gottstella, but
yeah, I mean, the numbers, going off strictly numbers, it's going to be Matt Watkins. He's just won everything and won it in abundance. He's won something like, what, 200 or 300 races here at FSB?
What does he stay away for a couple of years and then shows up at the Indy 500 and wins it?
Yeah, stuff like that. Yeah, he just he's out of fuel and sideways in his pit box, and he comes back to win the race. I mean, stuff like that. Like, how do you fight that?
Well, this computer I'm on right now, he built for me, and even though I did wreck him in the, I can't reach over and grab my trophy, but Jim Ray kept telling me, well, just don't wreck him for the win, and of course I did, which sucked, but it's the Indy 500 with 2 to go. I think there's a hole there when there isn't, and I thought there was a hole, so. But he won it the next year, and then he's won it again, so.
Yeah, if not for a teaspoon of gas, I might have had him last year. Like, I was waiting for him to run out. But yeah, so the numbers say Matt Watkins. But as far as the ones that I've actually run with, because I only ran with Matt Watkins a little bit here and there in my time at FSB. The best that I've actually raced with on a regular basis is right here in this race, although he's not having a good night, and that's Slim Jim Gately. He's the complete package.
He's never, he raced against Matt. He raced against Matt before he got here. And, of course, they were young and different, and Matt was young, and Matt was really aggressive when he, like most of us when we were young.
Yeah, of course.
And then Matt became the GOAT, and
Slim's numbers won't bear it out because he takes care of business in real life and disappears for extended periods, doesn't complete seasons. So.
Well, that's what Matt Watkins is doing now. I mean, it's all about work. You don't see him all the time because he's working. What you realize was 15 years now what Jim Ray started, and it's still going and going strong, and with the game from 2003, quite fantastic.
Yeah, Jim Ray says about Matt Watkins, he literally has rabbit's feet for feet. And that would make sense. It would explain a whole lot. As while we're here yapping, we see Mark DeSenza has resumed the lead over the 43 of Rick Bisconer, although Rick is not one to go quietly into the night, and he's looking for a way back around him.
Well, when something like this happens to you know, everybody knows that, you know, the pit windows lap 66, so wonder how did I get out in the lead and then lose it? I don't, you know, I want to do something different? What did I do? Did I use my stuff up out front a little bit? Sometimes getting behind and going, okay, next time I want to be behind, but I want to be right behind Mark DeSenza, and then use tire wear as my advantage. Because when you're in the lead, the drivers can sit there and lie to you and say, if they wanted to, and say, well, I wouldn't lie. You know, when you're in the lead, you use up more stuff unless you're a dominant car, you know.
Basically, at this point, if I'm Rick Bisconer, I'm just going to try and outpit Mark. Yeah, as great as Mark is, that's the other person Jim was suggesting as one of the two that's in this race that's a candidate for the GOAT.
Absolutely.
And he, while Mark has improved his pit game this season dramatically, that is and always will be his Achilles heel. So I'd be looking to pit with him and try and beat him out of the pits. Maybe hope he makes a mistake.
Well, you're a driver and I'm a driver, so those are the things we grasp onto when we try to analyze our competition. What can we do to beat them? You know, we look for weaknesses, but
that's where.
show up,
Meanwhile, Bisconer has gone way up the track, and he's pitting. All right, Rick's in.
That is early.
That question is answered as to what he's going to try and do.
That's real early, but his strategy is he's not thinking about draft, he's thinking about making some hay, and this thing's going to stay green.
Well, he made it work last time, but I don't know, with Mark having two cars in his draft.
Yeah.
And unless Mark's coming by, unless Mark's coming by in the next lap or two, this is going to hurt Rick big time.
I don't think so. I mean, you got to break it up in thirds, and that's lap 66. Kid Hansen trying to earn his lap back the old-fashioned way. You see the control, you see how the car is. It's just, that's racing, man. I mean, you just never know. Sometimes you just, in the blink of an eye, it's like, what just happened?
Yeah, when you talk about looking for a weakness in the game, that's where I was getting at with Slim being the greatest that I've had to race against regularly, because I can tell you my game plan trying to beat Slim is steal one of Matt Watkins' rabbit's feet. Because you can't sit around and wait for Slim to make a mistake. You gotta hope something happens to him, or that you just make a strategy call that he didn't. You're not going to beat him on pure speed. You're not going to outpit him.
Absolutely. His numbers don't reflect. You know, that's why we were rooting so much for him to run this entire season, which so far he has. And tonight's not going to be his night, but...
It's not going to be his night, but it's going to be 10 races in.
He deserves that, you know? He deserves to finish the deal, you know?
Absolutely, and I will be quite pleased, even though there's no rooting in the press box, but I'll be quite happy for him if he can pull this off. And I'll be happy for Mark too, because Mark has also not always been able to run complete seasons and had the points finishes to show for how well he ran.
Well, if I was interviewing Mark right now, he would say, "Well, you know, it's just a privilege to get to race against these great drivers," and that's a pretty good
No, it sounds yeah.
imitation.
That was pretty good.
He will always take that humble side.
Yep, doesn't do a victory lap, no burnouts or anything.
I'd like to beat Slim, but if I can race this whole race and say, I raced against the best, and if I finish second, that's the way it is. I bet you that'll almost be exactly what he would say. Stumble,
Meanwhile,
the joy of racing.
Meanwhile, Mark has lapped the 55 of Evan Castle, put him into the lucky dog spot, and Ken Hansen has gotten around Mark to reclaim that lap the old-fashioned way, as you like to say. Looks like Mark might be setting himself up to come in and pit. Yeah, he's falling in behind Evan Castle. We're coming up on 33 to go. So that might be the window that Mark's going for. Which has left Rick Bisconer out in the cold here, if this doesn't cycle out the way he wanted it to.
Gotta be courageous here. You also have to be smart. You gotta realize I can't pull a rabbit out of my hat. I just gotta do what I gotta do and live with my strategy. It's gonna work out. Thing smells, looks, and is green. So
sure does. In fact, he's fallen way off those cars he was running with. It's like he's backed it down or something. Can't possibly be trying to run it to the finish. Is he trying to make a one-can stop?
he lost like 12 seconds or 10 seconds there. Something's up here with the 6 car. He's thinking alternate strategy here, I think. Let's look at lap times here.
Yeah, something really weird's going on here because... Alright folks, we got snookered at Nashville by his teammate Ryan Johnson, who's traveling this week. He's pitting this lap, he's coming in. Here at lap 68 of 99.
With this climate, I think this is, the right move. I think it's going to pay off for him.
Jeff Habick is around on the front stretch.
Well, that's
caution flag is out, and
just as I speak,
as they say, this
Kablam!
Changes everything.
Tower into the wall there hard.
Ladies and gentlemen, we've got a mess on our hands right here.
Yeah, Mark was on pit road. We'll have to see how that sorts out.
Mark was on pit road. He is scored in second currently.
Go a lap down here.
Let's see, Rick Bisconer is scored back on the lead lap. Now he's in second place.
Well,
hopefully nobody gets confused. The only person who should be behind the pace car right now is T.G. Reese, who once again cycled into the lead. Okay, so Rick's caught them. There it is. Yep, Mark is scored third.
Can't write this stuff, man. That's why we do it.
Absolutely, and so your lucky dog is going to be Ken Hansen. And 101 has retired. Lucky dog's going to be Ken Hansen. T.G. Reese gets to come in for 4 freshies, as he had not yet been in the pits. Mark was in when the caution flew, so I think if I'm Rick, Rick Bisconer's got to pit. Mark's got to stay out. Yeah, Mark's got to stay out. He's actually in the catbird seat. This played out for him nicely.
played out perfect for him.
A lot of things can go wrong. In fact, recently did for him in the Truck Series when the caution flag comes out during a pit sequence. There was some confusion, and the wrong car picked up the pace car, and the whole field ended up a lap down to one car that stayed out, and it was a mess. But it looks like we got it all sorted out tonight, and we're gonna have ourselves a 5-car battle to the finish with Ken Hansen getting back on the lead lap.
I'd like to throw a shout out to the sportsmanship of everybody and the quick response to the server crash and deciding to let this thing go and live with what you got.
Interestingly enough, Pops had a chance at bettering his finish, and he ended up exactly where he was, 10th.
Yeah, that's how it goes.
Yeah,
But we got a show.
Yeah, we got a show, and I suppose we could always add points for the people who made the start for the first part, and make sure they don't lose out on any if they're running for the full season.
Well, you know, those are the things they'll have to deal with. That's why Jim Ray, you know, back in the day, that was didn't do it because, especially with the bigger league, you know, I mean, when there was a lot of people, you know,
Well, it's one thing
way more
restarting when something goes wrong in the first 10 laps, you know, that's pretty easy. Or if it crashes right on the start and nobody's left yet. It gets messy when people have left, but I think it's going to work out just fine.
Yeah, yep.
Slim didn't get the result he was looking for, but, you know, I don't think he's going to dwell on it.
Now I'm going to take a quick pit stop here, and then
Gonna go consult your sponsor?
Yeah, you know, Budweiser, the king of beers. For all you do, this Bud's for you.
Caution south. Caution south.
I just tried to fix the ticker there, that's what that sound was. But yes, Jim is correct. It's still frozen right where we were when the server crashed before. But now I know where Mark Dillon Jr. used to get that sound from. I had no idea that was in there. So we've got ourselves a reset here, and we got the pace car lights off. We're ready to go back to racing. Mark Desenza back on the point. Rick Bisconer back in second. Bob Dixon third. 53, series sponsor TG Reese. Hanging out in fourth place and rounding out your top 5 is your lucky dog. Ken Hansen sticking it out after that early black flag has paid off. Just in time, Milty.
Wheel!
Alright.
What you gonna do?
It's for all the marbles, boys. We're not yet to within 10 to go, so the no passing to the backstretch rule is still in effect. Looks like someone might need to tell Bob Dixon that. As he is. Put a nose under the 143. Might want to give that back there, Bob. I'm going to give that one back.
I think you should. Yeah, it's close there. But
We'll leave that up for review. Again, we are not the authority on these calls.
Absolutely, thank goodness.
Ooh, and the round goes 143 into TG, into the 43.
Oh!
And we have got a lot of torn up race cars now. And caution on the track.
Well, I think, you know, that
3 of our top 5.
that might have been on Bob's mind there, realizing he made a mistake in what he was going to do, and he might have lost a little focus there. Just tank slapped it, you know, because he knows the rules. Tank slapped it, and that's a hard lick for Biscano, too.
Sorry, Jim, you were a little late with that comment there. Yeah, yeah, that's right, Jim. Jim Ray says, Mark versus the field, place your bets. Gambling legal in Georgia? And, well, there's some reservations down there where it's probably legal, Jim. I know they've got a few down there.
Back from the grave is the Coors.
Yeah, Ken Hansen is the only one who's got anything to say about it after that, I'd say.
Don't give up, buddy. And now he's got a shot here.
He's got a shot as 3 of the rest of the top 5, although 55 of Evan Castle should be the lucky dog now, are back in it. Or excuse me, we're in that wreck.
You're going to come up on 20 laps. Try to go a can and a half, and
I think
tires.
fuel is set. Fuel's set now. Fuel is set, but some heavy hitters in this race.
Get more tires, though.
Yes. There's no reason not to take the 4 freshies, as the rest of the top 5 has to fix their cars right now, so the worst Mark DeSenza could do is fall to 2nd place.
43 gets out of the way, so contenders can pit. They're a very sportsmanlike move from Rick Biscano, which that's what we expect from him.
He's got to come in and fix that thing, so yeah, everybody pitted.
He let those guys by TG Reese and another car, and did it very good so they could nail their pit stops. That's definitely good racing. They'll remember that for sure.
So we've got ourselves a 2-car show, unless one of those that was involved in the wreck turns out to not be so bad, which
the 9-car,
we've been surprised.
Hansen, that is a. Let's see what happens here. So we're going to see qualifying laps out of these guys from the start here. Now we're getting down to where tire saving is going to be in the 20 to 19 lap range.
Yeah, I think the tire saving's still going to come into effect here with 20 laps and 2x tire wear. You don't want to run it too hard. You're basically looking at 2/3 of a run.
Air on the nose, 6 out in front, no damage. Or he had a little bit of fender bender there, just a little love tap. Obviously, by the way he's running, doesn't seem like that was any effect. I like his chances.
And just when I wonder what they can throw at us next on these Friday night broadcasts, we got ourselves another surprise. Ken Hansen back from the dead, and the rest of the top 5 gonna be struggling to hold on. .55 should have pitted and come around to catch his lucky dog. Not sure what he's still doing up there.
Well, you better do it now.
Yeah, you gotta go. Go, 55, go! He's not going. I believe there must have been another miscommunication there on the lucky dog.
Hey, on the scanner, we're hearing the lucky dog is the 23 of Slim Jim Gately.
How?
I'm not sure, but
I think there was some confusion because after the pits, 55 ended up tail end because he had to stay out as a lapped car. And Slim is 2 laps down. But before the caution, 55 was definitely 1 lap down. Oh, pace car's off. Here we go. Checkers or wreckers, right?
so the 55 is tail end, or
55 is on the inside, first car lap down. He was temporarily tail end because of pit stop sequence. Now it's a question of what do the 143 and the 43 have left in them? 143 doesn't look that bad. Could be the arrow could still affect it. And what does Ken Hansen have for Mark Descend?
last minute hookup, TeamSpeak problems, rolled in at the last minute, and he's all over the 6 here. I think 1 win already this season, and I think he means business here. That number 9 Coors Milling Ford is definitely got some ponies in it tonight.
It does. And yep, he's fought himself back from the dead, and he's looking to make a show of it here in the late going. And the 143 and the 43 do look strong, so he's got some draft help behind.
Rick Bisconner beat up, but still fast as long as he's in the draft with 17 laps to go. With 7 laps, wait, okay, 7, yes, 16 laps to go. Will that tire wear start to? Because, you know, look at the rear end of that thing. That thing is pushed in. And he's going to lose the rear downforce as time goes on. But he's all over these guys. Maybe he doesn't need rear downforce. He needs front downforce. Is the 6 pacing the field? Let's see. No, last lap 35.44, best lap 35.44. These guys aren't messing around. They're going for it.
Yeah, it's go time.
You got the balls to the wall, man.
But you don't want to get those tires too hot too quick. You want to save a little bit for about 10 to go before you really have at it.
Well, the great ones like Matt Watkins, when you're in this top 4 here right now, you get starry-eyed, you know? I mean, I'm here. I got a chance to win. Sometimes you can brain fart, you know? I mean, the great ones are always managing the situation as it develops and can adapt to that tire wear and use just enough. I see Mark here going fast lap. So at this point, I think that's what they all got to do. 12 to go. Gotta go. Heck with the tire wear.
And we're coming up here. 11 to go.
Marcuson's such a great leader. Knows how to lead, knows how to defend, knows how to have somebody in his mirror and not be. We got the 9 on the outside there.
You didn't quite have it.
Ken Hansen is just on fire tonight. We know what a great driver he is, and he said, you know, I mean, when you race every week, against these great drivers, things ebb and flow. You have, you know, then he got a win here. I think ever since then, he's been a step above what he was maybe the previous 6 months before that. And that's what it does. From experience, it's like, am I ever going to win again? You know, I mean, then you get one, you know, it's like, wow.
Hey, I can still do this. Well,
Because
he is looking.
It's supposed to be hard. It's no fun if it isn't hard, you know.
Well, he is looking for some way around that 6 car, and he's just not finding the door just yet. I think a lot of it's going to have to do with what the 143 and the 43 want to do to help him, or not.
What can the one, you know, both of them have damage, so, but they're right there still. Maybe
They've got damage, but if they're within a second, they're gonna, you know, there'll be enough to affect his draft.
Affect the. And Hansen looking down. Can I make this move? No. What he's trying to do is get about a third of a car length to the right hand on entry, and then arc the corner so he can do this move right
He's looking down into one.
That's
Didn't
exactly
quite have it.
how he's setting him up there. He's doing, okay, he's running, okay, my opponent is running pretty much a, you know, equal arc. So I'm going to do a oblong arc and try to get that exit. He was very close there, but it did upset him and lose about a car length.
Meanwhile, the 43, Rick Bisconer, is taking over 3rd place. And that's put a little bit of separation into this pack.
Mark's going to run his line. He knows, you know, you got to get around me, you got to get around me. So good luck with that, because when this guy is in this situation right here, it's money. I'm telling you. Well, we'll see. That's why we race these races. And once again, the Coors Ford comes right up on his tail there. He's got the ponies tonight, and he is getting the draft. Not using his stuff up, and coming up on 5 to go. Mark's got to be going, okay, this guy, you know, all right, you know, I mean, I know what Slim does. I know what this guy does. That guy, what's the 9 going to do?
And speaking of Slim, they are catching lap traffic. It's Slim's car.
Oh, boy, right up against the wall to 9. Maybe a scrape. Look, it's go time here.
Yes, we've got 4 to go. Slim just drops down out of the way, doesn't want any part of this. As I catch the draft again with the 00, Francis Stittman.
That's what Francis needs to do. He needs to go way higher and get out of the way.
And that's
job,
exactly
Francis.
what he does.
Good job, buddy.
And without drafting help, I don't know what Hansen can do here as we come down to 3 to go.
Well, we've seen the move he did, the elliptical arc he did out of turn 3 and turn 4. He's trying it again there, and he's got to run down on the inside.
Just can't get there.
Can't get there. It's great racing at once. What? I mean,
they're inches apart.
Did we deliver what we promised, or do these guys deliver what they promised? Down on the
Here we go. One more look to the inside.
No, he can't. He can't.
2 to go. Coming around to the white flag. Oh, he might get a piece of wall if he's not careful.
Be very
Sucks
measured
it back
right
in.
here. Smart. He knows he's got a chance. He can't win it with 2 to go. He's going to win it coming down the front straightaway.
He's got one more run at him.
Got a really good
White flag in the air.
He's using that high line. He's going to try to ellipse again here and get that inside, but Mark defends, and we got lap traffic.
Now, how will lap traffic factor into this? Will that hurt or help Mark? And looks like it's gonna.
Last lap.
Yeah, it's gonna help Mark.
Come on.
There's nothing Ken Hansen can do now at this point, as we have.
Great racing. Great win, Mark. Good job.
Great win by Mark. Great comeback by Ken Hansen.
This guy, I mean, this is great or what?
And meanwhile, put the interval up there. The 43 and the 143 must have had themselves a photo finish there. Look at that.
Yeah, let's see if we can get some of that.
Yeah, let's see how close that was.
Well, great run for Rick Pisconer after getting pushed in there big time. And, he could have won this race. That's, that's racing, man. What a great show by these guys, as usual. The FSB way, sportsmanship.
Yeah, and here is the finish with the 43 and the 143. Let's see, 2 damaged cars battling it out for 3rd place off the last corner. Bob Dixon had the run on the bottom, but just couldn't complete it. The momentum on the outside held for the 43, and there it is. That's what .005, or .05 rather, looks like on the track, guys.
I'm about 3 seconds behind, but I'm watching it on your live feed. Wow. Bob Dixon, great driving, always in the picture at the end, and also racing clean. Great job by him. Good stuff, man.
So there we have it, our official standings in this restart. Mark DeCenza brings home the W. Ken Hansen in the 9 with a great comeback, P2. Rick Pisconer,
great drive,
battered.
By the 9.
Yeah, the 43 was battered but not beaten, coming home 3rd. Bob Dixon 143, rounding out your top 4. T.G. Reese, first car lap down in 5th. Evan Castle in 6th. Jim Gately, damage early on in this restart, brings it home 7th. Not a terrible points night for him. I mean,
no, don't give up.
Exactly, and with 2 races left, he's sitting pretty.
We wanted to see from him for him to be able to race every race, and you know what, guys, beat him. And so far he's been able to do that because if I was a betting man, it's always on that 23.
Absolutely, and Francis Dittman running out. The car is still running there in 8th place. Their race retirees this time around. We got 101 of Jeff Habeck in 9th, and Pops Margison blew up right before the restart, and then first car out of the restarted race ended up exactly where he was, 10th place.
Well,
so, not the night he was looking for, even with the reset, but No, didn't lose anything from it either.
Abic, there's a lot of good positives you can take from this race, and he was definitely a competitive car. So,
And Jeff's checked in on the chat box here. Thanks for popping
what's
in
up,
there,
buddy?
Jeff. Yeah.
And that's what you as a driver, you want to feel. It's like I was right there. Stuff happened, but we're making rounds.
User joined your channel.
I mean, you're racing against pro sim racers here, so.
Absolutely. All right, we got race winner Mark DeSenza up here. Let me go grab the others.
User was moved to your channel.
Oh yeah.
User was moved to your channel.
Yeah,
All right.
you do.
All right, so we got a mulligan.
For your course drinker there.
Yeah, thanks for checking in too, Francis, there in the chat box. All right, so you got the mulligan there. You gave it a good run there, Rick. Just got a little banged up at the end, but you're still fast. So tell us how your night went.
Well, I think I should be up here, but wrecked a few people, I think, maybe.
Yeah, we don't call it one way or the other up here in the booth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Car just felt good no matter what you want to do. Fun track to race on.
You seem to be in.
You had severe damage there, and you still had a good car. The damage model in the game is fickle sometimes, but tonight, because I just kept thinking he's gonna spin it, but you didn't,
Yeah, surprisingly, it handled good. It actually helped it loosen up a little bit. Had to watch it, but good.
Yeah, imagine it was scary on the cold tires.
Surprisingly, it was good.
Excellent. Well, nice recovery there. You looked like you were definitely one of the favorites to go for the win there. Slightly different pit strategy. Not sure if you wanted to see the cautions or not, but good
Nice
solid run.
That.
Yeah. All right, it's a good run there, Rick. Ken.
What's up, Ken, Mark?
Wow, what a comeback, Ken. First of all, what happened to get you a black flag early at the in the race there to put you a lap down in the first place?
I passed somebody going on pit road.
That was what I thought happened. That's what it looked like. Yeah.
When I seen the stop and go, I'm like, oh man, that's the worst one.
That is what I call the death penalty, black flag in this game. But you did a great job coming back from it. Stayed in that lucky dog position until you could finally get it. Actually, I think you got it back the old-fashioned way. You got past them. You were in front of Mark DeSenza when the caution came out.
You were legitimately making the hair on the back of Mark's neck go up there because you were the real deal there, fighting through, all kinds of shizzle,
Yeah, it looked like you tried everything to get around him there, but just couldn't quite.
Yeah, the racing was so close. I mean, it's all a couple times we could have made contact, and I didn't want to. Especially super speedways, you can't do that. Car will spin in front of you for sure. Robin's racing, but not at those speeds.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. Well, good job there, nice comeback, and man, if you just had some draft help, maybe you could have gotten by, but you can't be too mad at bouncing back from a black flag like that.
That's what I said.
And Mark,
second from a lap down. So
yeah,
well,
absolutely.
I mean, you were a lap down. I mean,
I'm happy
I think, but the course belling forward there was definitely damage free. So, and you put on a show, man. I mean, you were all over Mark, but we'll have to see what Mark has to say because he was kind of chilling there. Well, I don't know. What's up, Mark?
I'll take it. It's kind of not really one of my favorite tracks, but it was fun. Ken got a run on me a couple times there. If he had got a little more onto me, I would have had to give it to him, but I guess he just couldn't get the run on the straightaway all the way. But yeah, he kept me on my toes. I still thought he was going to pass me because he was probably a little bit better than me.
Well, he was making arcing line through 3 and 4 there, and he was coming out with a great run, and he'd come alongside you, but didn't really have to defend because the momentum kind of equalized. But it was, we were talking about the different lines you guys were taking, and but you stayed the course and stayed on your line. You didn't try to defend up high or change your line to defend.
Well, yeah, once the tires wore a little bit, I was just I wanted to go in the corners low because having passed high, but he was getting good runs coming off the corner, and all I could hope is he didn't get a run to get alongside me going into the corner.
You have no
idea. A few times he got close, but I give him credit. He raced me good, clean and hard. But if he had a little bit more on me, I would have had to give it to him. But it was
that one.
It was
about lap like 97. He got a run, and it was really close. But
that one time looked like he was gonna go, and then he got back behind me.
Yeah,
that's the run I was gonna have to give it to him because I thought he was gonna go, but then he got back behind me.
Yeah, it was closer than you realize.
I didn't know if we were gonna cut down, and I was like, nah, I'm not in for the championship. You guys are running hard. So.
And speaking of that, and speaking of closer than you realize, Mark, what do you think you pulled the point deficit to tonight?
It was 40, right? You said it was 17?
It was 17 coming in.
So that's 40. I don't know, really.
You got it down to 7. It's not 40. It's
awesome.
It's 24 points in the new system.
No, I know, but to me, 17 was 40 to catch Slim.
How many races?
I gotcha.
How many races we got
With
left?
2 races left.
Oh my gosh.
2 races left. It's down to 7 points.
Oh, I thought we had 1 race, but we got 2. Okay. So
bad break for Sim. He had a good run in the first race there. We had a little problem. Then he had some problems in the second race. And like I said, I guess that's how you gain points. But, I'd much rather done it racing. But, I guess it is. I mean, I had my share of bad luck, I guess. But
that's how it goes.
Yeah.
So with 2 races left, we got Dover.
Server crashes. I mean, that's internet racing, just part of the deal. It doesn't happen very often, but it does.
Yeah, we got Dover coming up next week. And then we'll close it out at Charlotte night.
Charlotte, okay.
Yeah, he's good at both them places, so I'm going to...
Name a track he's not.
That's probably the first time the servers crashed on Friday night.
Absolutely, yeah.
In a while, at least.
I can't think of one. Sean?
Yeah. Well, you got your work cut out for you. It's going to be a great battle. I'm glad we're covering it. And good luck in that. Good luck to you too, Slim.
Charlotte is one of those tracks that Mark is really good at. Better than me.
No, what do you mean? Come on, don't say that.
Oh, yeah, every time I race against you, especially in those big 600s, man, there's nothing I can do for you.
This guy is humble, dude.
Yeah, I like that. That's a good track. I like Dover too, but everybody else runs good there too, so we'll just give it what we got and see what happens. If I lose, then I lost to the best. If I beat him, I beat the best, so that's how I look at it.
In the broadcast, I actually imitated you.
He does a good Mark DeSenza.
I did Mark DeSenza, I said almost the same thing.
It's true. We've got it archived. You can go back and reference it.
Go back and look at it, man.
For a while, I didn't think we'd have a caution at the start of the race. I got a bad start. The guy in front of me had a bad start, so I fell back 3-4 seconds. And I didn't really think I was going to make up any time.
Well, I figured you were going to try and make that up in the pits or something, but once I got to racing, you closed it up. Closed up the gap.
That pit stop was the bomb, man.
I didn't really want to see that the second to last caution there when everybody pitted under green, and I would have been happy if that caution didn't come out because I had a pretty good.
Absolutely, yeah.
There and now I knew when the caution come out, we were all going to be close together, and I wasn't going to be that good for a while, but hey, guess we'll take it.
Well, congrats again, Mark. Good luck down the stretch here. Great racing, everybody. Ken Hansen, Rick Pisconer, rest of your top 3.
Ken, Rick, good job, man.
That's going to make it a wrap for tonight. Thanks for joining us here at FSB Live. For Milton Wow. It's the second time I stumbled over that. 2 weeks in a row. Jeez. For
who's
Milt
drinking
Minter
the
Jr.
Budweiser tonight?
Yes, for Milt Minter Jr. I'm Sean Reeb. It's been FSB Live. Thanks, everybody. Good night. These clowns
Thanks a
talking
lot,
over
you
me.
guys.